somebody's got to put a Christmas tree in the no-buy spot. How am I supposed to film this video? But to balance out, for good measure, I have put the same hoodie back on that I was wearing when I filmed the rules for this video, which I suppose I should put back on the screen so that we can all remember them. It just looks a bit weird because then it just looks like I'm peering out from between these two panels. I also have to make sure I'm quite centered in frame to be able to do this. Does this look like about the middle? Well, we'll hope for the best. Got myself a cheeky, very dark hot chocolate. It's the Whittards cookies and cream one, and it smells amazing, but I know if I drink it straight away I will burn my mouth, so it's just gonna sit for a little while. Today we are wrapping up the no-buy, the last quarter of the year, and we're gonna have to start this one with a disclaimer straight away. I've not spent the time working out exactly how much I spent for Christmas presents. Gifts are allowed anyway on the yellow side as long as we're being sensible and reasonable. I've already done my Christmas budgets video during Vlogmas, so if you are interested in that and you've not seen it and you want to know how much I budgeted for each person that I buy presents for, then you can check that video out. Okie dokie then, let's break some of these down. So on the amber side, practical household items were in the low buy side, and I haven't bought anything for my house in this quarter. So whether it was practical or decorative, I've not bought anything. I'm all good there. I'm still, I think I mentioned it a while ago, I'm still in the headspace where I don't feel inclined to spend money on my house because I kind of feel like I'm in limbo and that this is not going to be the place that I settle. And I really know I should enjoy my space whilst I'm in it. You know, it's going to be a good few years, a big part of my life whilst I pick myself back up and work out where I'm going. But at the same time, I'm finding it really difficult not to get hung up on this idea that I don't want to waste money if it's not like the dream that I'm working towards. So it's a bit bizarre. Clothes. Wow, this might be the first time clothes hasn't been on this list since the original no-buy of 2021 when I went 6 months without buying clothes. This might be the first time. The only thing you can really count in this category, though, okay, it is clothes, but it's not really clothes. It was pyjamas. I bought myself some pyjamas and they cost me £18. So that was it in that category. I've been really picky about clothes lately. Everything I see I don't like. So it's not really that I've tried hard not to spend. I have been to places where I might buy clothes and just the things I liked were very expensive and I couldn't justify spending that much on them because I'm leaning towards more high quality. So it's actually working out quite well for me. So we'll see. Rings, I think we've already established in previous updates that I only put rings on low buy so I could get myself some new rings because I didn't really have any that weren't tarnished and horrible. And since I've had my rings, which I'm not actually wearing now, I've not bought any others because I have ones that work for me and I've had those same ones all year now. Makeup and beauty, I haven't needed to replace any makeup products, which is good. That's been a nice low spendy spend sort of quarter in terms of that, but I did buy the red light therapy mask that I showed in Vlogmas day, oh now I'm testing myself, 13, 14, can't remember, but I did buy that this quarter and really pleased with that purchase. So as far as, you know, was it a good purchase, was it a bad purchase, I'm really happy with that, so that's a good thing. So that was $44.49 when I bought it. I've noticed ever since on the website it's cheaper, of course it is. So yeah, $44.49 when I bought that mask. Hair appointments, I've not had any more since I had, you know, my big trim when my hair just gave up under the years and years of having highlights done. So I am, you've probably noticed, I am exceedingly growing my hair out. I am like half a head of roots, half a head of still bleach blonde, and we're just kind of rocking it. It looks a bit ridiculous, but I haven't made up my mind what I'll do. I'm planning on just growing it out completely, but I think I will miss being a proper blonde because I am a very dark, dirty blonde naturally, almost like brown, but not quite. And I love being light blonde, but if my hair can't cope with it, then it might just be I have to settle for my natural colour for a little bit. And I don't think I want to go back to like a dark colour. I did that all through my teens. I always had dark brown hair. Again, not real, dyed dark brown hair all through my teens. I love the blonde, but if my hair can't cope, if it's just going to break and be scraggly and horrible, then yeah, that's sad. Next up is hobbies. I have had 4 riding lessons this quarter. I've been going every 2 to 3 weeks. My last riding lesson was the weekend of about the 10th, 11th-ish. And so I'd be due to go this weekend, but this weekend is mini Christmas. So I won't be doing that. And then I don't think it's worth risking an incident of any kind in that week before I'm going to Milan. So the latter half of December, I've not had a lesson. So I guess I've saved a bit of money there. But those are £31 each, so 4 lessons this quarter I make to be £124. It is not a cheap hobby to do, which is why I'm not doing it every week. I'm doing it just sort of enough to keep developing my skills, enough that it's enjoyable. I would go more if I felt that I could justify the expense, but I can't. As you know, I've also been doing shooting here and there. That has definitely continued a little bit throughout the last quarter, but I'm very lucky in that I've never been the one that's had to pay for that, so that's quite nice. Next on my list was gifts. So I had my friend's birthday, which I spent just over £30 on. I also had my granddad's birthday at the start of December, and I actually only spent about £20 for that. And then other than that, it's just been Christmas. And as I said, I've not totted all of that up, but I've done a budget. I know roughly what I've spent for each person and totted that up. And then the last one in the amber/low buy section is experiences and trips. And I paid for 2 of us to go and see the fireworks in November, and that cost me £22 to go to a fireworks event. Then we go to the red section, so the no buy section. This should be a very successful section if we've been living up to the no buy correctly. So decorative household items, none. Gym clothes, shoes and bags, none. Books, none. Jewellery, none. Beauty appointments, none as of yet. I should have had my nails done yesterday, but we've had to rearrange. We're hopefully going to try and do some point this weekend, but if not, she will catch me in that week between Christmas and New Year, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Art supplies, none. Stationery, none. Media, none. Takeaway and food on the go. Oh. So takeaway a little bit. There's also been some eating out at restaurants. So for example, I went out for my work's Christmas meal. I've been out for drinks a couple of times, but for the most part that had been like me having a Diet Coke or something. So all in all, for this quarter, bearing in mind I also went on that hen weekend, I've spent £170.46 in restaurants or getting drinks or takeaways or fast food. But when I think of it, that 40 of it was just one meal out with work, I still feel like it's quite high. Aside from that, we have got just a section on travel and parking. So travel also included the hen weekend I went to. We also did activities and stayed in a hotel, but I mentioned in the last update that I paid for those ahead of time, so that was already sorted. So my breakdown was I spent £18.78 on parking, £26.60 on the train, that was to the hen weekend, and then what I've needed to book for my trip to Milan, so it was £147 for my flights and £16.40 for my travel insurance. We're paying for the hotel when we get there, so I've not paid for that yet. And so altogether, that's £208.75 on travel and parking, which, given that that's got flights in for one of what will hopefully be my 3 trips abroad in 2024, I think that's not too bad. Like, we nearly spent that on food in this quarter. In fact, I spent more on food in this quarter than I did on my flights and travel insurance put together. So, perspective there, I guess. But let's tot it all up. Let's see what our, not including Christmas, non-essential spending has been for this quarter. So we've got 124 on hobbies, 18 on pyjamas, 44.49 for the mask, 170.46 on food, 22 on experiences, and 208.75 which for the last 3 months gives me non-essential spending of £587.70, which I think is about £200 less than the previous quarter, which makes sense because in the previous quarter I had the summer where I was going away quite a bit and driving around to places and eating out a lot because I was away. So all in all, I don't think that's too bad, but you do have to consider the costs of Christmas on top of that, which based on my budget video was just over £400. So, you know, for the quarter, if you include Christmas, we are looking at around about 1,000, I suppose. So depends on how you look at it. As far as a no buy, low buy year went, I definitely liked the idea of having a low buy section and a no buy section and having different rules for different things. I think I could have done better sort of predicting what would be relevant later on in the year. Like the thing with the rings, for example, that probably didn't need to be on there. That was quite unnecessary. Some of the red areas I really did well in because I imagine I could have spent a lot of money on gym clothes, for example, and I didn't, which was great. And that was just one area. I think it was only my mindset about how I'm feeling about my life and my future that really curbed my spending on the household stuff. I don't know if that was necessarily my rules that did that. So I suppose the big question is, will I be doing a no buy moving forward? I think my answer to that is not in the same way. I will definitely have some method of tracking my non-essential spending next year, and I will be bringing a video in January about that. I'm not necessarily going to do it in the form of a no buy or a low buy, but we can talk more about that next month. I'm going to wrap this one up, go and enjoy my hot chocolate, and I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.